everybody, good day. This is Kay and I'm going to show you about rules of grammar. English grammar is often said to be overcomplicated and difficult to get to grips with, but the truth is that while there are certain rules that should be obeyed, the language evolves and develops over time and quite rightly so. In this video, I will going to discuss about the 25 rules of grammar. First, the basic rule states that a singular subject takes a singular verb, while a plural subject takes a plural verb. This means that subjects and verbs must agree with one another in number, singular or plural. Thus, if a subject is singular, its verb must also be a singular. If a subject is plural, its verb must also be plural. Note that a verb changes whenever its subject changes in number and person. Verbs do not form their plurals by adding an s as nouns do. For example, artificial insemination is the process of placing semen into the uterus by artificial means. The conservationist asked too many questions about the rainforestation. Rule number 1. Those singular subjects connected by one or nor require a singular verb. This means that when two or more singular nouns or pronouns are connected by or nor, use a singular verb. For example, my aunt or my uncle is visiting the cattle farm today. Martha or Lazarus cultivates the land for a proposed crop production. Rule 2. Two singular subjects connected by either or neither nor require a singular verb as in Rule 1. For example, neither poultry nor swine production is preferred by the close-fisted farmer. Either afforestation or reforestation promotes the conservation of Mother Nature. Rule 3. When I is one of the two subjects connected by either or neither nor, put it second and follow it with a singular verb or with the base form of the verb. For example, neither she nor I am studying agriculture, neither she nor I study agriculture. Either Judah or I am joining the forestry organization, either Judah or I join the forestry organization. Rule 4. When a singular subject is connected by or nor to a plural subject, put the plural subject last and use a plural verb. For example, the shovel or the dog bolos are found in the cabinet. The principal nor the teachers join the symposium about the green piggery. Rule 5. When a singular and plural subject are connected by either or neither nor, put the plural subject last and use a plural verb. For example, neither the volunteer nor the social workers are prepared for the community outreach. Either the president or the constituents are aware of the kainin farming in the place. Rule 6. As a general rule, use a plural verb with two or more different subjects when they are connected by and. To show two different subjects in a sentence, each subject is usually introduced by an article or a possessive pronoun. For example, flora and fauna play an all significant role to human beings. Global warming and climate change enkindle the people to change. Rule 7. Subjects joined by and mean a single idea take a singular verb. For example, my sister and confidante shows great support in my endeavor as a future agriculturist. Grilled ham and cheese is we often have for snack after a forest review class. Rule 8. If the subject and the verb in a sentence are interrupted with an intervening phrase introduced by including along with, together with, as well as, besides, and etc., the verb must still agree with the simple subject. For example, tree planting as well as tree parenting embraces the acts of environmental protection. Dissectionist, along with the members of the team, plans to extend the symposium. Rule 9. Indefinite pronoun like each, everyone, everybody, somebody, someone, anyone, anybody, nobody, no one, something, either, neither, and not one and everything are singular and require singular verbs. Do not be misled by what follows of. For example, everyone in the class is very conversant about in vitro fertilization or IVF. Someone in this class is a product of cloning. Rule 10. With words that indicate portions like percent, fraction, part, majority, some, half, all, none, remainder, and so forth, look at the noun in your phrase or object of the preposition to determine whether to use a singular or plural verb. If the subject of the preposition is a singular, use a singular verb, and if plural, use a plural verb. For example, one-third of the city joins the greening project of DNR. All of the speakers were asked to talk about the effects of illegal logging to humanity. Rule 11. When either and neither are subjects without or and nor, a singular verb is required even if the same be seen to be referring to more than one thing. For example, neither of them knows about the latest agricultural issues and concerns. Either of us is capable of doing embryo transfer. Rule 12. The words here and there have generally been labeled as adverbs, and even though they indicate place, sentence beginning with here or there require verbs depending on the number of the nouns that come after them. For example, here come the horticulturist, Drew and Jane. They're gone, there goes Dan, the forest ranger. Rule 13. Units such as amounts, size, time, quantities, or distance always require a singular verb. For example, 15 pesos is a small amount for a kilo of sweet corn. For skull is year is what we need to finish our BSI and BSF degrees. Rule 14. Sometimes the relative pronoun who, that, or which is the subject of the verb in the middle of the sentence. The pronouns so, that, and which become singular or plural according to the noun directly in the front of them. So if that noun is singular, use a singular verb. If it is plural, use a plural verb. For example, Patron is the agriculturist who writes the rationale of the thesis. He is one of the panelists who were invited to critique our local defense. Rule 15. Collective nouns like team, staff, group, family, crowd, army, and etc. require a singular verb if the members are those of us acting collectively, and plural if the members are thought of as acting separately. For example, the staff is in the meeting for that fast approaching inauguration. The staff members are in disagreement about the field they schedule separate individuals. Rule 16. The expression a number of always require a plural verb, while the expression the number of always require a singular verb when used as a subject. For example, number of foresters are planning to file a complaint. The number of qualified applicants for the agricultural job fair has decreased. Rule 17. Nouns that always come in pairs like skissers, sunglasses, shoes, thongs, sleeves, trousers, pliers, pants, shears, and etc. are always plural and require a plural verbs. Useless unless they are introduced by the expression the pair of. For example, the tongs I both are usually used in our chemistry subject. The pair of tongs I both is very pricey. Rule 18. Nouns, plural in form but singular in meaning such as mathematics, economics, news, politics, and etc. require a singular verbs. For example, the amount of him, the news about him is not good for his image as ecological advocate. Mathematics is my favorite subject. Rule 19. In sentence with the both positive and negative subjects, the verb agree with the positive subject. For example, it is the law enforcer, not the laws, that leads to the change. It is not the farm manager, but the technicians who want additional budget. Rule 20. Titles of books, movies, songs, and that require a singular verb. For example, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is the first Disney movie. Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet has really made history. Rule 21. The pronouns you and I always require the base plural form of the verb event cases where they refer to only one person. For example, Leslie, you have to submit your project proposal on time or else you will fail. I need more time to accomplish the task. Rule 22. Adjectives used as nouns are considered plural and thus require plural verbs. For example, the learned are men of wisdom and principle. The hardworking reap the produce of their endeavor. Rule 23. The name of a firm or company, although appearing plural, requires a singular verb. For example, Universal Studios is showing the movie Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest next month. Ranula Brothers is a law firm that advocates the protection of virgin forest. Rule 24. For sentences following the inverted order, the verbs still agree with the subject regardless of the number of the nouns that come before it. For example, beside me were the illegal logger and the dynamite fisher. At a distance looms the view of the immensely deforested mountain. And that's all. Thank you.